Lincoln here from Profit Drive, and welcome to another Business Smarts vlog. Today we're looking at a business case of Carib Beer versus Banks Beer. These are two Caribbean beer brands that are in a very intense competition in the Eastern Caribbean. Beer in CARICOM is a very protected industry, both from the government in terms of tariffs, and the private sector is very protective in terms of their distribution arrangements and practices. This case discusses how Banks and Carib are competing in the Eastern Caribbean for the beer sales that's in this very protected market. Ansa McCall is the Carib parent, the parent for Carib Beer, while the Barbados Holdings Limited is the parent owner for Banks Beer. BHL is the acronym for Barbados Holding Limited, is a higher priced brand beer, while Carib is lower priced because they have a larger plant and they benefit from what we call economies of scale. When you produce more, the unit price for each the price for each unit falls, essentially. Now the bank, because the Banks Beer is trying to compete with Carib and trying to reduce their price to be more competitive. They've moved, well, that's not the only reason, but Banks has moved to a larger plant in a place called Newton, and they've also taken on more debt, partly because of this move in their brewery. Carib is more, they definitely seem more marketing oriented and focused, and HRD focused. So while Banks has been focused on a lot of CapEx, capital expenditure, Carib has also done some capital expenditure, but their focus more so has been on marketing and on improving their human resources. Both companies are targeting the under 25 age group market. BHL does this via two distinct strategies. And these strategies are discussed in a business case that we're selling on Profit Drive. Carib is outperforming Banks generally. Right now they're producing about 3 times the amount of profit. Well, let me not say right now. In 2012, based on the last annual reports that we have, the Carib company has produced about 3 times the amount of profit that Banks Beer produced. Banks is carrying a lot of the growth because they have a company in Guyana called Banks DIH, and Banks DIH in Guyana is basically doing a lot of sales and expansion and growth that has been carrying the overall performance of Banks BHL beverages sales. Banks is also carrying a lot of debt from their Pine Hill operation in Barbados, which is their drink. It seems to be a dairy operation that has a lot of debt, and they have been having a lot of competition from imported dairy products. And there's also some level of capital expenditure that has been taken on in their Barbados subsidiary that produces Coca-Cola. Sorry, the Bahamas subsidiary that produces Coca-Cola, a company called Carib Co. And that has pushed their capital expenditure very high as well. This is speaking about Banks. So Banks has a lot of factors that are seeing them strategically looking a little bit weaker than Carib at this time, even though people indicate that the taste profile of a Banks beer tastes better than a Carib beer for certain purposes. Now, there are also significant management differences. The management of Banks is done by Mr. Tony King, very adept businessman. However, the Carib beers managed by that basically has the influence of the Sagba family, and those who know about the Trinidadian background know that this is a very powerful family in terms of business and leverage that they have across the Caribbean and globally. And it could be argued that in terms of management, there could be a stronger management influence and management leverage and business leverage from the Sagbas. So there's more information available in the general business case, and we urge you to contact me in my contact information in the description. Thanks again for viewing, sharing, and liking this video. And until next time, engage your profit drive.